Hello everybody, it is Mike Levin on Wednesday, October 14th, 2020, coming up on 9 p.m. And I know the audible quality is terrible here, I'm going to fix that, but I really just wanted to bang out this video while I have the motivation. So, my daughter asked me how long I've been on YouTube, and I said almost since the beginning, and she pretty much didn't believe me at first, and we Googled up the starting time of YouTube, February 14th, 2005, and then I went to my channel and looked at my first video, and it is 14 years ago. Not quite as old as YouTube itself, but here it is, June 30th, 2006, so February, March, April, May, June, that's 4 months, a year and 4 months. So about a year and 4 months after YouTube came out, I launched HitTail, which has lasted right up until this day. However, you will see that it is scheduled to be shut down on October 16th, this upcoming Friday. So that's a pretty big event, but I created a Web 2.0 application, which was a long tail keyword suggestion tool for your website. It looked at your activity going on your website. It had some algorithms that figured out which of the keywords leading to your site was underperforming, what they call striking distance or low-hanging fruit, and how to optimize for it so that you push yourself onto the first page of Google. It's a wonderful formula. It was launched back in 2006. So here we are in 2020. It had, some 15 years of life in it, running pretty steadily all that time. The servers I set up personally by hand, they've been changed. It's got moved over to the cloud. It underwent a lot of the stages of the evolution of the web, from co-location to cloud, etc. And so that was one of my many videos. It's I think well over 1,000 now that I have over all different topics. Here was me unboxing the original Raspberry Pi. I believe I was either the or among the first to unbox and demonstrate the Raspberry Pi. That was 1.3 million views 8 years ago. I had another one where I took off my thumb, which was my next million view video. You can see I got on this kick of doing these illustrations. I'm still keen on that. I think I'll get back to that because it's so fun to do the drawing style to create videos. But somewhere along the line, I just did a quick taking off my thumb and or taking off my finger, the finger trick, and that became my second oh, there it is, 1.3 million views 7 years ago. So these, and look, they're like right next to each other. Why did I even go looking? They were back to back. I did this 1.3 million view video and then this 1.3 million view video. I've got it in me. I could do these again. I know how to capture that, tempest in a bottle, such as it were. It's not like Raspberry Pis are coming out every day, but I've been at this long enough that I kind of know what to do if that were the path I wanted to take, but I never really took that path. I was pure to myself, true to myself, and producing videos on those things I considered important or that I needed to talk about as they came up. And so now my daughter's very interested in YouTube, so I'll be giving her whatever benefit I can. However, what made me think of cranking out this video today is at the bottom of my journal, and this is my journal. You can see I'm some 137,000 lines down into my journal. I remember I used to be able to do Figlet, something, and it would just insert a nice headline, because this is a Ubuntu 16.04. No, I guess I upgraded it. I'm on 18.04. I have an old 16.04 here. but I'm on Ubuntu 18.04 on the Windows subsystem for Linux 2. So that means if a command is missing, you can go over to another terminal, and you can see I've got all my icons set up that represent my keyboard shortcuts. I do Control-Alt-T, and that'll just fire up a new Linux terminal. And here we go. See, I don't have the command Figlet. You should be able to say Figlet foo, and then it types foo in that nice large letter style that you see me using right here. And if you don't have it, it tells you exactly what to do. Apparently they got rid of the second half of apt. They're using aliases and stuff, but sudo apt-get is what I know as the command. Install Figlet. But before I do, sudo apt-get update. And this updates the local repository. And so it makes sure that when you get the software, when you install software, you're installing it from the very latest. And I'm going to update my system, actually. Sudo apt-get upgrade. And this is like sudo apt-get update, but it actually will install any packages that are waiting to be installed. You can see I have certain packages that are no longer required, so to do a little system cleaning, I can do sudo apt-get auto remove, and it just gets rid of things on my system that are no longer needed. It clears up barely any space, but why have it sitting there if none of the software you're using uses those libraries clear? So now sudo apt-get Figlet. Oh, sudo apt-get install Figlet, of course. And so now I have the Figlet command, Figlet foo. There it is. So now over here in my journal, when I want to make one of those big banner headlines for an area, because I often just pop down to the bottom of my journal to keep lists, but I like those lists to be well identified, I can get out of insert mode by hitting escape, and then bang space foo, and this is just like typing it on the command line, but the output gets piped into this text editor Vim. So ADI events. I'm going to be keeping track of ADI events. Oh, shell returned 127. I guess we can test it out here. Oh, I did, didn't I? Ah, well, it's because foo not found. Bang space Figlet ADI events. Ah, okay. Insert mode. Oh, interesting. I can't be in insert mode. I have to be in command mode. Figlet. Let's try it in quotes. There we go. So I now have a place in my journal where I keep track of ADI events. So this is how you can have a neat little capability of making stuff like that in just a plain old text file. And so, I enter dates like 10, I believe, 07, 2020, and then I talk about something that happened with ADI that I want to keep track of. So let's just say, added tent to peppermint patty list. So I have a list for ADI where I keep track of things that she likes and wants, and I do have it in a list elsewhere, but it helps to have it in the journal right here, so that when I just jump to my bottom of my journal, I can read over all the things that were events related to ADI that I want to keep track of so that I can follow through on things that I want and need to do. So that is adding things in the Windows subsystem for Linux, in this case Ubuntu in particular, and updating and upgrading your Ubuntu environment with sudo apt-get update, sudo apt-get upgrade, and then sudo apt-get install things like Figlet. Figlet, 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 hello world. See how fun and useful that can be? Thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you again soon, and